Hey guys, mini expansion coming out in just a few hours. Gonna be crazy. A bunch of wacky new cards. I'm really excited, and you're probably thinking, "What am I gonna? Why am I buying this? What decks am I gonna play? Am I just gonna play the same old stuff?" So I worked really hard to come up with 5 decks that I theory crafted. And if you watch the stream, you know I came up with a lot more than 5 decks, and there were a bunch of ones that we were trying to make something work, and even just on paper, like because sometimes you have an idea on paper that looks great, and then you play it and it's horrible. But these we couldn't even make it work on paper. It was just like, oh, we're not gonna have any card draw, but we need the card draw. Like you could sometimes figure out from when you're theory crafting deck, the deck just doesn't work. So I ended up with 5 decks in the end. One of them, but that I think could be really good decks that aren't super dominant in the meta, but 2 of them are kind of variations of old stuff, and 3 of them are kind of things that are kind of brand newish. So the first one I got is a Token Druid, and part of the reason I wanted to make Token Druid is it got the Arbor Up card, and I think Arbor Up is an insanely good card. I said it, and I just think having tokens with Arbor Up can make it a lot better. So I'm not exactly sure on the right build, but I'm running kind of a lot of 1-drops, including, and then the Gibberling. I'm only running 1 Power of the Wild. I'm not sure about that. I'm running 2 Wriggling Horrors, but the general idea is you play early stuff, you buff, you make a kind of try and make a wide board. Then you either go Arbor Up or Savage Roar or something along those lines. You also run 1 of Greybow. So sometimes, like let's say you have like you play a 1-drop on 1, you play 2 1-drops on 2, and then it's turn 3 and you just go Lightning Bloom Greybow. And if they don't have a way to kill your stuff from behind the Greybow, you just win. I've had games at certain classes where my opponent plays a Greybow and it's miserable. So I really like this card, and I've been trying to make it work. But the things that this deck got was Arbor Up, and the other thing, I really like Crab Rider. I'm just putting it practically in every deck that it might make sense. And you know what's nice about Crab Rider? It's got Wind Fury. So guess what? We get a Crab Rider on the board. We go Savage Roar. It's basically 2 minions on their face. So it's really good with Adorable Infestation. We can do something like Crab Rider Adorable, rush into 2 minions. That makes it easier to control the board while developing often, so we don't lose these kind of early tempo wars as much. And that's just the general idea. So this is like this. So there are a lot of different ways I could build this. I might try this out, feel it's crap. I might try it out and try to mix it up. Part of the reason I have 1 of, so I'm not really sure about some stuff. But I'm not even sure. I'm not sure about the Voracious Reader. I'm not sure if I should add more card draw. But it's an idea. I think the core could be really good. So, but try that out if you especially if you already have a lot of the cards. The next one I got is actually kind of a spicy thing, and if you watch my card review, I really liked Rally. I think Rally is an insane card. It revives in 1-drop, 2-drop, and 3-drop. So what I did was make an Aggro Paladin that's based around Rally. So 1-drops, we run a ton of 1-drops. So 1-drop, it's not going to be a big deal. But 2-drops, we run Injure Tolver and Murgle Gurgle and Crab Riders, all which are really strong 2-drops. Injure Tolver comes back as a 2/6 instead of a 2/3. And Murgle Gurgle, you can get potentially a whole bunch. So we can get potentially a lot of late game. Like let's say we need to win a value war. Well, let's say we revive 2 Murgle Gurgles, and then we have 3 Murgle Primes. So if we're playing a control deck, we might try and get this out, and then we can win the value war even against like maybe a control warrior or something like that, because we might just have thing after thing after thing. For 3-drops, we only run Injure Tolver, Injure Blade Master, same thing as Injure Tolver, comes back as a 4/7, and Zealot's Pride. So Zealot's Pride allows us to draw basically is our draw of our deck. And we have Brooms, we have Brazen Zealot, we have Tour Guide, we have Murgle Gurgle. So we have a lot of things that have 1 health. So this draws a lot of cards, and when we revive it, it draws even more cards. So your Rally might be developing while getting more value and highly efficient tempo. So your Rally is a really powerful card. So you're not like hyper good early on the deck, but you have that powerful tempo swing that is Rally. And on top of it, we're running 2 Blessing of Wisdoms for draw, which has really good synergy with Crab Rider. So let's say you need some draw, you go Crab Rider, Blessing of Wisdom, bam, bam, trade on 2 things, and get 2 draw. You also run a Blessing of Kings, and we run Hand of a Doll, so we can easily buff our stuff up. And so let's say we have the Crab Rider. You can see I really love this card. We have Crab Rider. We go like Blessing. We go Hand of a Doll on it the next turn, and then we go Blessing of Kings on it, and we just push a bazillion damage. Wind Fury early, I think, is really strong, and I think people I don't know if people are underestimating, but Wind Fury I think is usually a very high cost mechanic, and that's why it's not as good. But as a 2-mana card with health and rush, I think it's going to be insane. So try this out. Let me know if you guys have success with it. I really like this idea. I hope it's good. Next, I got a boring thing that is going to work. That's barely different. If you're like, no hands, I don't want these BS experimental things. I want something I know will work. I want to get some legend, get easy legend. I want to get easy high legend. I want to just destroy all the decks people are playing that suck. You want to play Aggro Rogue. Aggro Rogue got Nitro Boost Poison. It gives +2 attack to a minion, and if it's corrupted, it gives it +2 attack to your weapon. So that's 1 mana for weapons. That's going to give you 4 damage over turn, and you get on a minion. And all our minions are stealth or charge for the most part, with the exclusion of a few cards. So guess what? It's really easy to get it off, to get it on a minion. So all I did was cut Cold Bloods, which was a very low performing card at the previous list, and put this far better Nitro Boost Poison. So you play this, you hit some face, you're gonna win games. It's gonna be easy. But it's maybe it's not gonna be as fun as playing something really new. But you know what? It can be fun winning and crushing all the weak decks of a new mini expansion. So here that's the Rogue deck. And finally, or no, this is not finally. I've got Libram Paladin. This is very simple. This is 3 cards off the list I just made in my previous YouTube video. I cut Silas. I cut the 6-mana weapon. I'm brilliant on the name. And I cut Lady Altruist, I believe. No, that's not it. Dude, I'm so bad at these names. I cut those 3 cards. The 4-mana 3/6 that when you summon when you play a spell burst, play this. I cut that, and I'm running 2 Crab Riders, and I'm running 1 Libram of Judgment. So Libram of Judgment is the new weapon that it's a 5/3 weapon, so they can get discounted with Libram effects. So you could play this on 5. You could just play it for very cheap, and if you corrupt it, it gets lifesteal, which can be really good. So you can just win games from hand now, like with your weapon, without even having board. Like Penflinger weapon leads are going to be a lot easier now. So I'm running those. Cut for those other cards. Those other cards are a little more techy. So I think I'm not sure about Crab Riders. I just love the card. And you can see I'm putting it in every deck that it kind of makes sense for. So I'll try it out. Maybe Crab Riders. The idea is one, it has touching with Blessing Wisdom, and it has synergy with Hand of a Doll, and has synergy with Libram Wisdom. So it's a really good card to buff up because the buffs go double. So that's what I'm thinking. So you get Lady Ladrin, you get a bunch of buffs. You can rush it into 2 minions. Very strong potentially. So I want to try that out. We'll see if it's good. But Libram Judgment will absolutely be a card now that's running the deck. The card's insane. It's just almost like they just gave this really natural synergy to a deck that was already good. So finally, I got a deck. We were trying out so many things. We couldn't figure something out, but I wanted to make Rally work for Priest. I was trying to make a Res Priest, and I came up with this. And you're probably thinking, what the heck? This is so weird. You're running Horrendous Growth. You're running Rally. What is this? So the idea, in the early game, we only have 8 minion, or we have 2 1-drops in Prison Homunculus. We have 2 Veil Weavers, and we have 2 Nazamis. And we also run Insight, so we can often draw a minion from those cards as well. And we play them all out, and then we go. So sometimes they just stick, and we can get a bunch of effects. We have Powered Shield. We have lots of effects that we can get lots of stuff going with a Veil Weaver. But sometimes they get killed, and our opponent thinks, haha, I got you. Little do they know, we run Rally. So Rally will revive our 1, 2, and 3 drops. So because we only run Nazami and Veil Weaver, ignore the horrendous growth for a second, because we only run those cards, they get revived. So we can play the Rally and then immediately go, Gift of the Luminance, Powered Shield, Smite, and just start going off reliably. We always get a Veil Weaver, and we always get a Nazami, and we get a Prison Homunculus is just good stats, even though it has Taunt, so it's just kind of meant to be defensive and blocking stuff while you wait to get your combo stuff. We even have Psycho Pump. I'm not sure about the Psycho Pumps, but because we only have these good cards, I kind of really like Psycho Pump because we're always going to hit something we like. We don't run, we're not running the Dragon package, so that's part of the idea of Psycho Pump. And what is this? So one, we could just win through value generated with Veil Weaver, but our horrendous growth often is discounted to 0, either through Insight or through Nazami. Or Nazmani. Dude, I can't pronounce these cards. Nazmami. So it gets down to 0. So then all of our cards that are more will start buffing it up. So it'll just get buffer and bigger and bigger. So then eventually we can play a 2020 horrendous growth and Grave Runes it. Not only that, if we haven't used both our rallies, there's a chance that our rally hits one of our horrendous growths. So we have that going too. So that's the idea. It's kind of memey. I really want it to be good. It's probably going to be a lot of fun, but probably not going to be good. But I really like the idea, so try that out. It's kind of ridiculous, but let me know if you have success with it. Maybe you get some crazy things going, but it doesn't quite work. Maybe just a few adjustments away from actually being legit. I don't know. I just love the idea. So hope you guys like these ideas. I got deck codes in the comment. So, and hope to see you out there on the ladder for the new mini expansion, the Darkmoon race. All right, thanks, guys.